We are here in Montaña de Oro State Park. Had 2 fishing sessions in with my good friend Adam Trout. I'm going to let him recap what happened.
So we've been doing this for a while now.
All right.
We've been doing this for a while now, and it's the type of thing where we officially come back every year because it's worth it. And part of it's the place, part of it's the fish, a big part of it's the people, and it's kind of the type of thing where I think like-minded people kind of, there's a little magnet and it pulls us all together. And I think the thing about kayak fishing, especially a rugged place like this, is just going way back, and you don't need a lot of fancy stuff. We just go out and we work together as a team and we get it done. And then we come in and we make fish stew, we make fish tacos, and there's just something empowering about not having to rely on the man. There's something that makes you feel stronger about being able to do it yourself, really. Just not needing gas, not worrying about breaking down, just paddling out on your own muscular strength and the camaraderie, and just you catch some, you lose some, and then as things have evolved over time, now we're bringing our kids and watching the kids get bit and take waves in the lap and complain a little bit, but in the end catching fish and then cleaning them and eating them. That's just the circle of life, and it's really awesome. And I've been in Northern California and Southern California and Mexico and Hawaii and all over, and there's something about the Central California coast that it's just a little pocket of gold. I guess that's why it's Montaña de Oro, and just glad to be able to share the time with my friends. We'll be back.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you very much. Yes! Okay, I've split the rest of this video up into 2 sections, one for each session. The first day that the group went out, we had a real productive session. I was able to bag 10 fish and to, as did most of the other people, so that we would have camp meat for our entire trip there. The launch was real easy. It was a nice, real high tide launch. We were able to slide off and get out there. There was really no wind. A nice bump, but I like the bump like that. It was nice and overcast. I don't think in the entire day, both days, I don't think that we fished in any water that was deeper than 50 foot. And coming up from San Diego, for me, that was real shallow rock fish fishing. So what I did was I had my fish finder going, and I would slow paddle along, and then I would identify a big rock that looked like it had some bait and some fish on it. And so I had my double dropper loop ready. I was using the P-line model with the one had the rubber shrimp, and the other one it was the old school feather type, and I used a 6-inch curly tail grub on that one. On both of them, I did tip them with a little bit of baby squid on one, and then I used a raw shrimp on the other. I was using the raw shrimp on the bottom, and it seemed to get bit more. Oh, it definitely got bit more. But I didn't switch it around. It might just have been location of the bottom hook. It seems like when I am bottom fishing, I'll pick up more fish on that bottom hook. So the groups kind of split out. One group stayed shallower, more towards the reef, into the kelp, and the other group kind of ran out. They fished faster. They just kind of run and gun. They'd look for structure and stop on it, catch a fish or two. So I would kind of bounce up and back between the two. there was kind of a running joke because all I really wanted to do is get pictures of everybody, but it seemed like every time that I would run up on somebody and I would drop down, I would catch a fish there. So whatever worked for me, I was happy for that. Let me talk a little bit more about how I was using my fish finder in that shallow water to find the fish and then to get back on the fish. Because by the time you see them on your meter, you're already past them, you're over them. So what I would do is I would go ahead and let my kayak coast, and I would rudder over hard. And then from there I would go ahead and I would slow paddle. Real slow, and I would creep right back up on that structure where I knew they would be sitting up on top. And then I would go ahead and free spool, and I would drop down into it. Now everybody's got a different way, even rock fishing, how you will present your lures. Everybody, if you fishermen know that you can't just dead stick it. Or I mean you can just let it lay there and you might catch a few fish, but generally speaking, you got to work that lure and you got to coax that bite. If you watch Lou Dog, he's got a real pronounced jerk that he uses, and he tries to get a real reaction out of the fish. Where myself, I tend to pause a little bit more. I'll lay it down in there a little bit more. That's what works for me. And when I'm watching these videos, I even noticed that while I was working the bait, when I stop and I put the rod under my leg or I go to do something else, that little extra pause, like, and I think it's because the water here was so cold and maybe it was so dark, that giving it that little bit more natural pause got more strikes for me. Now we're going to go into some segments where the guys are talking. How'd you get that one, Jeff?
Squid homemade jig.
I like it. Thank you. Nice.
Pretty good whole squid.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dark one.
Beautiful. There you go. Good job, Adam.
Nope. One.
I like it.
No.
2 tacos worth?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. There you go. I just left it. Took a drink. This one's not a gopher. Yeah. I now know what a gopher fight's like. This is not a gopher. Lincoln. It's a short though. Yeah, you gotta be 21, right? 22. 21. He's lucky. What you doing there, Mike, when you got that one?
Found a little bit of structure,
Uh-huh.
picking up and down, and eventually felt the thump.
Hold them up. Let me see. Oh, it's a beautiful fish. In this last part of the video, we filmed the second session. The weather was really brutal. The wind was strong. We had to get wrapped up in the kelp, and but Ty and Adam, they made it work, as you'll see. Yeah!
Ling cod.
Nice one too.
Not ready to come up.
Are you gonna gaff it? I never think we have to use the gaff.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, very legal.
Oh,
Nice.
better gaff now. So, John, all day yesterday, I was using that black one.
Right? Uh-oh.
okay, I'm dropping mine down.
And it just wasn't happening, so I switched to the chrome. That was the first cast.
Ah!
Chrome with the white bucktail.
All right, all right. Oh yes, fantastic.
Central Coast.
Woo!
Why we came.
What do you think of that, Ty?
Pretty.
This is
What do you think of that? Your dad, the man. He just is making it look so easy.
this is like 30 something.
Nice. It's a blue one. Beautiful. Ah!